This is big breaking news. Evacuations have been ordered in multiple different states right now, and crews are being overwhelmed. Emergency response crews. Right now, we have situations happening in places like South Carolina where a state of emergency has been declared. Also, North Carolina, where they previously had Hurricane Helene damage in Polk County, they are also under emergency situations. So let's get into all the details here. Really quick, guys, please just hit that like and hit that subscribe. I'm posting every day, keeping you guys updated on this big news, and it just helps to get these alerts out so people know what's going on. So this is what's happening right now. Polk County, North Carolina is under a state of emergency, and also the entire state of South Carolina is under a state of emergency too. There's also emergency responses happening in New Jersey right now related to this. It says here wildfires have forced mandatory evacuations Sunday in North Carolina, where they are still recovering from Hurricane Helene. And also, the South Carolina governor has declared an emergency due to wildfires as well too. He has also implemented a statewide burn ban, and he is threatening anyone that will defy this ban will go to jail. We will get to this quote in a second. But it says here that the North Carolina Department of Public Safety announced a mandatory evacuation starting at 8:20 p.m. Saturday for parts of Polk County in western North Carolina, about 80 miles west of Charlotte. It says, quote, visibility in the area will be reduced and roads/evacuation routes can be blocked. If you do not leave now, you could be trapped, injured, or killed, the agency said in a social media post. So this is serious. They're warning people to get out right now. It says here that a shelter has been established in Columbus, North Carolina. It says that there were 3 active fires in Polk County, one spanning 1.9 square miles, another spread over 2.8 square miles with no containment by Sunday afternoon. County spokesperson Kelly Cannon said one home was lost to the larger of the 2 fires. Right, so we already have homes being destroyed. It says a third fire has burned about 199 acres with 50% containment, and it has already destroyed 3 homes as well too. It says an earlier evacuation order associated with that fire has been lifted. So multiple evacuations being ordered in Polk County right now for these fires in North Carolina. And why do they always break out like this, where it's multiple fires in a row all within miles of each other? They're close, but they're not close enough to be naturally spreading, right? They're not close enough where the wind is blowing embers and causing these to potentially spread naturally. And it says here that North Carolina Forest Service online wildfire public viewer indicated that active fires Sunday in Burke County and Stokes County were also happening on the northern border with Virginia. It says in South Carolina, Governor Henry McMaster declared a state of emergency Saturday as emergency crews in Pickens County fought the, quote, Table Rock fire in the Blue Ridge Mountains. All right, these are the Smoky Mountains, super humid, wet, raining here all the time. And that's why they're called the Blue Ridge Mountains and the Smoky Mountains, because there's so much humidity, moisture in the air, in the atmosphere, and these fires keep breaking out here, right? Just like how there was a massive fire in the swamp in Florida, in the Everglades, blocking the road. We're seeing another fire happen here in the Smoky Mountains, in the Blue Ridge. And why does this keep happening, right? The governor is saying that these are human-made fires, but why do people keep doing this? What's the motive? It says here that, quote, the state of emergency allows us to mobilize resources quickly and ensure our firefighters have support they need, McMaster said in a statement that reinforced the statewide outdoor burning ban issued Friday by the South Carolina Forestry Commission. All right. He made a statement as well too, warning people that they could be arrested as well if they do not listen to this order. Quote, as this wildfire continues to spread, the state of emergency allows us to mobilize resources quickly. Quote, given the elevated risk of wildfires throughout the state, the statewide burn ban will remain in effect until further notice, and anyone who violates this ban can and will go to jail. That is what McMaster said on yesterday, after issuing this order. All right, so what's going on with all these fires? Why aren't we seeing this happen all over the place? Right, they're spreading, and he knows that people are doing it. That's why he's threatening jail, because he knows that most of these are human fires, all right, or potentially even something worse, potentially some type of technology, right, doing this as well too. Somebody using energy weapons or along those lines to maybe start these fires. And it says here that the ban prohibits all outdoor burning, including yard debris burning, prescribed burning, and campfires. So they're also letting the public know to stay vigilant for any fires and to also report any fires that you see if people are having fires, right, in the area near you. Let them know that there's a ban going on. And if they're not cooperating, then report it, right? That is what they are warning of here. So what's going on with these fires, man? Weird. It's neighborhood after neighborhood. And this is where we saw Hurricane Helene go through too. So a lot of this area is already destroyed and had mudslides, washouts of roads and homes. And now it's being burned up too. It also says here that this weekend the New Jersey Forest Fire Service has been battling a wildfire that broke out in the Wharton State Forest on Saturday. The fire consumed about 2.7 square miles as of early Sunday morning and was 50% contained. It says here emergency officials said they evacuated 2 campgrounds in the park and 18 buildings were near the fire, but the flames were moving away from them and no other structures had been evacuated. It says the cause of the fire is under investigation. So something's happening, not normal. And now it's the East Coast. It used to be like, oh, the West Coast is dry and arid climate and it's windy. So that's why we see fires here, even though we see fires right on the coast, right? Lahaina. Is Lahaina dry? Is Maui dry? It's literally Hawaii. Okay, it's a tropical paradise here. It's wet. Everything's wet, and there's constant rain and moisture being, put into the atmosphere from the ocean, right? From the waves crashing, from the wind blowing. There's always moisture in the air here, super, super humid. And we're still seeing these fires pop up and spread like crazy, right? And now it's all along the East Coast. We keep seeing these fires every few days, right? We're seeing new ones. We're seeing ones all the way in southern Florida blocking the Keys right now as well, too. Tens of thousands of people live there. About 80,000 people live on the Florida Keys. They're having issues getting on and off of the main road connecting to the mainland of Florida due to these fires, right? So they're popping up everywhere. Now they're in North Carolina, South Carolina, New Jersey. What is going on here, right? Is there some type of group inside the United States that is lighting these fires? Because they're always it's always like 3 or 4 different fires all pop up at once. Were there really that many people just being neglectful and had a campfire going and let it get out of control? Seems very unlikely. It seems like potentially could be one or a few people in a group going around starting these fires one right after another, maybe driving 5 or 10 miles away to a different area to start these fires. Or it could even be things like laser ignition, right? There are even laser pointers and devices that you can point at debris and bushes, trees, whatever, from a mile or two away, right? So you could be on a different mountain pointing a laser, high-powered laser that could start a fire on a mountain on the other side, a mile away, and you're far away, right? You were never even near it. There's no footprints. There's no trace of you even really being over there. Who knows? These things could be on drones. It doesn't have to be some crazy like space laser or something like that on a satellite or something. Maybe it is, all right? I'm not saying it is, but it could be even something simple like that. They have these high-powered lasers that you can go look them up on YouTube right now that can light things on fire, right? People do demonstrations with them, and they're concentrated enough and accessible enough that maybe it could even be things like that, right? Or it could just be somebody starting a fire, campfire, and it gets out of control. So let me know what you think is happening down below. It definitely seems from the governor's response and just from the frequency of all these different fires. Oklahoma right now is having dozens and dozens of fires. I think there was over 150 different fires that broke out over the past week, a couple weeks ago, right? So what's going on here? It's not natural. It doesn't make sense to me. The only natural thing I can think of is maybe like the release of methane if there's some type of like tectonic activity in this region and there's like methane being released from the ground that's catching on fire and just burning. But we haven't seen any tectonic activity in this area, earthquakes, things like that. We haven't really seen that. So that's very, very unlikely in my opinion, right? It seems like somebody is intentionally doing these fires, and maybe even a group that has been led in the country maybe over the past few years is now being activated, because it seems like it's happening as the past few months. The frequency has been increasing. It's happening all the time. Every few days there's major fires and multiple fires breaking out. So thank you guys. Make sure you guys are staying prepared and staying stocked up and have a plan just in case this does happen in your area. It's one of these things where everyone needs to be ready. And it's also going to affect insurance as well too. And personally, I was even struggling to find insurance because they kept telling me, oh, there's too big of a wildfire risk where you live. Wildfires are going to be, even though there hasn't even been a wildfire here in a while, right? In a long time. I don't know if there's ever been one actually in this area specifically, but for some reason the insurance companies are running their data and they're saying, I don't know, maybe there'll be one here or around here in this area, and it was difficult to find insurance that would cooperate, right? And this is happening all over the country, multiple different states, even in California, near Malibu, Pacific Palisades, that whole area where they had these fires a few months ago. State Farm pulled out and stopped offering coverage, right? And State Farm was one of the people I called, and they are not covering where I live, right? So weird. Do they know something that we don't know? I don't know. Are there like actuaries? Are there algorithms telling them something that we don't know? Do they have some? Because that's like their whole thing is these patented algorithms that can like almost predict future events. That's what insurance companies are all about. And for some reason, their algorithms, multiple like of the big companies, are pulling out of places all over the country. right? All over the place. Even in Pacific Palisades, it was right outside of LA, right there. So let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know what you're dealing with too, if you've experienced any of these wildfires or they're in your area. And if they are, take some videos about it. Upload it on YouTube, upload it on X, Twitter, and people want to see it. People want to know what's going on because this is happening all over the country. So thank you guys. Hope you have big blessings for your life, your family, and I hope you have a big old blessed day.